Selecting the right photos for a marketing campaign can be challenging, especially if you're unfamiliar with the industry. So what makes some campaigns more compelling than others? Today, we are going to apply 3 steps to help us select the best photos for an equestrian marketing campaign. First, you need to define your audience. When it comes to equestrian sport in the US, there are actually 18 different types of riding that we refer to as disciplines. As you can see, there are distinct visual differences between each of these disciplines, and some equestrians will choose to do more than one. So be sure to do your research on this step. For the sake of today's example, let's use a hunter-jumper rider. That's an equestrian who competes in both the hunter and jumper disciplines. For some background, the hunter discipline evolved from traditional English fox hunting, so the jumps look very natural, and the rider is judged on how effortless and balanced they are as they navigate a course of jumps. Alternatively, the jumper discipline is based on how fast you can navigate a course of jumps without knocking any of them down. Next, you want to check your images for proper form between both horse and rider. And this will be defined differently among the various disciplines, but for today, we'll continue working with our hunter-jumper example. In any discipline, you want the horse's knees to be square when directly over the jump. This means that when they are over the fence, you're able to draw a straight, parallel line from one knee to the other. For the rider, the definition of proper form will vary, so it's important to gather this information ahead of time. Since the hunter rider needs to look balanced in the saddle, it's helpful to think about a typical squat position that you might do in the gym, where your hips and heels should be in line with one another. If your weight is too far forward or backward, you'll be off balance, and the same holds true for riders in the saddle. For our jumper example, rider position is not as important, but a more balanced rider will likely produce better results. Finally, you want to put some thought into the location or backdrop of the image you select. Riding can be a very expensive and competitive sport, or it could be something that you do just for fun on the weekends. The images we've reviewed thus far were all taken at big competitions. I've added a few more photos set in different locations, and as you can see, location and backdrop make a big difference when you're considering which image to select for a competitive campaign versus a summer riding camp. I hope you found this tutorial helpful in selecting the right photo for your equestrian marketing campaigns. Remember, you want to first define your audience, then check for proper form with both horse and rider, and then finally consider your image's backdrop in relation to your audience. Feel free to check out any of these additional resources on equestrian sport and photography, and I hope you'll come visit me at EFG Equine, my equestrian blog.